So good morning. Thank y'all for coming out to help us share this information with the public about an officer-involved incident that took place in the 7700 block of Lenox Avenue. So officers were called out to a man with a gun and firing shots just after 8 o'clock last night. And I'm going to let Chief Parker give you the details. Chief?
Thank you, Sheriff. So good morning. Like the Sheriff said, last night, just after 8 p.m., officers were dispatched to the 7700 block. They got multiple calls of a guy with a gun. First caller reported hearing yelling as the shots were going off, approximately 10 shots. Second caller, pretty soon after that, called in, similar account, but had estimated, I think, 8 shots. So patrol got to the scene, and the guy came out of the front door. He was holding the gun, kind of talking, yelling back and forth with him. Never pointed it at him, but definitely wouldn't comply. Went back into the residence, so they backed out, set up security, and kind of secured the scene. Requested SWAT based on the charges they had at that time. So SWAT arrived, similar situation. As they get there, as soon as SWAT gets on scene, we heard he reported that he shot one time. We don't know at this time if he shot at SWAT or not. That's part of the investigation, but he did fire one round when they got on scene. They set up the perimeter for a couple hours. They voiced to him. He was in and out, walking in and out with the gun, pointed at him numerous times. They were in positions of cover, so everything was okay at that point. At the end, he finally comes out the front door. He is still not complying with their commands, and he walks over to go to a neighboring residence. They engage him in the yard before he gets to the residence. They're saying, stop, drop the gun, drop the gun. He doesn't. He tries to get up to get into that neighboring residence, and that's when they had to shoot him. So he did not survive his injuries. The JFRD medic assessed him. He did not survive his injuries. So what we found out is the suspect, he's not diagnosed with anything, but according to the family, he shows signs of schizophrenia. He's got some dead family members that he thinks he sees at times. He tries to self-medicate with Xanax, meth, and alcohol. And today, apparently what set him off is he was upset he couldn't get any meth or Xanax today. So he kind of went off, and it looks like he started drinking, and everything escalated throughout the day. The state attorney's on scene doing their investigation. We've got, let's see, I can tell you the suspect's information. So I'll spell it for you. First name is Calixto. Last name is Beaventi, Venutti. And it's a Hispanic male, date of birth 2/1/81, so he's 44 years old. This is our 9th officer-involved shooting of the year. I can give you the officer's information at this time. We had 3 involved SWAT officers. The first one is Kody Crews. Kody is Kody Crews. ID number 74982. This is his 2nd officer-involved shooting. He's been with us for 10 years. The second officer is Phillip, Phillip McCranie, McCranie, ID 7120. He's been with us for 26 years, and this is his 3rd officer-involved shooting. And then the 3rd officer is Shane Lyons, Lyons, ID number 84992. He's been with us for 3 years, and this is his 1st officer-involved shooting. So with that, we can take any questions.
How many people were...
You talked about just last year we were at 8 officer-involved shootings. Now we're already at 9.
What's your specific question?
Just basically just talk to the community about it. You might have some questions about it.
Well, I think the questions belong to the individuals that put us in this situation. We show up because we're called, which is our responsibility. I think we're asking us to get into the minds of individuals that come out with knives and guns. We can't do that. What we have to do is we follow a set of circumstances or follow a set of rules. And when you put us in a situation that forces us to use deadly force, we're going to do that to protect lives, protect property. To protect lives, to protect the lives of our officers and make sure everyone leaves okay. But it's important to realize that when you ask questions like that, when I'm fine with it, you're asking us to get inside the mind of the individual and try to read their minds and figure out what they're doing. And at the time, we cannot do that. We do that afterwards, but we cannot do that at the time. So unfortunately, this is the situations that we've been put in. We're going to do our jobs. We're going to report it to the public, but this is where we are. And it's unfortunate, but we're going to continue to do our jobs and make sure this community stays safe.
Can you just elaborate a little bit more just how more challenging it is when you do have to deal with someone who might be possibly mentally ill?
Say it one more time.
I said, could you also just elaborate a little bit more of how challenging it could be when you do come to the scene and the person might be mentally ill?
Well, I mean, you figure you don't know that at the time. You don't know unless there's something inside the call information that tells you that the person is having a mental breakdown. But also they're in crisis at the time. They're in a situation where you cannot bring a civilian into, whether our co-responders are available or not, you can't bring a civilian into a situation where someone's armed. We're not going to do it. I would be incompetent if I did that because we're going to get someone hurt. So it's difficult. It's a difficult thing. But again, we're asking police officers to try to determine what's in someone else's mind. So that's why we have steps. That's why we look at things. That's why we train to make sure that when these things come up, if we get to a point where we have to use deadly force, it's going to be because it's necessary and it had to be done at that point. And this is the situation that we were put in tonight. That gentleman could not be allowed to enter to another residence. Cannot allow him to take a hostage. Don't know if that's what the case is, but we know he was trying to get into someplace else. Could not allow that to happen. Now the investigation is going to take place, and we see what happens from there.
Who was? Go ahead.
And Sheriff, if I missed this, I was writing notes. Sorry. Were those neighbors home when he was trying to get into their house?
That's part of the investigative process. I'm not sure at this point, but we'll know at the end of the investigation.
Who was in the home when you guys were trying to detain the suspect?
What do you mean?
So whenever you guys first came on scene and SWAT came on scene, the house that he kept on coming in and out of, who else was in there?
Not sure. I'm not sure. Like I said, that's part of the investigative process. We don't know that. But when you don't know, but you have someone banging on the door when they have a gun in their hand, you can't let them enter. Do you want someone coming in your house when they're armed with a handgun? You don't know who they are? You don't. None of us do. So we have to take action, and take action swiftly, as safely as possible, to make sure we defend any life. Now, whether someone was in there at the time, we don't know. We're going to find out. But it was open. The door was open because he opened it up and was going inside the doorway.
Can you confirm that the house he kept on going in and out of in the beginning was his house? Or
I can't confirm that because I wasn't there at the time. That's part of the investigative process.
And I know both the mental health and substance abuse aspects were mentioned. Does he have a prior criminal history or violent criminal history that's known of at this point?
Not that we have at this time. Anything else?
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate it.